Man himself. You want to say some words on this occasion?
Well, do you want me to try and take the two of you?
All right.
Is the sound
Yes.
The sound is
oh, every word we're saying will be immortalized, so to speak.
You speak loud and clear.
All right, I'm speaking with very well-shaped vowels.
They're coming through that way, too.
Could be. I was told the opposite.
Well, you ought to get Alex under it, too.
All right, Alex, get under it.
You see
Yeah,
any
that's right.
resemblance?
Get the profile.
Well, I don't know if I can get...
Come closer.
That's fine.
All right.
All right. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's a good likeness.
And
I've got some
there's Ann.
What time does it start, Alex?
10 o'clock. It better start.
Here comes Ann and Lily for the great occasion of this momentous day in Tallahassee, Florida, with the Air Force putting on a special air show for us. Here's Lily. How are you, Lily? Yeah, that's a nice picture. I'm selling 5x8 glossies after the ceremony.
That's a moving picture.
Of course it is.
Lily, let's get together.
Get them all.
Which one are they in it too?
Now take that one of the Bassins.
This will be. You can speak because this picks up some.
I forget. I'm so unaccustomed to.
Yeah.
To speak.
Let me interview you. Are you excited about this momentous occasion?
I barely stand up. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm holding it.
All right. Lily, haven't seen you in a while. How have you been? You look good.
You wore the right color, too, because red comes out just beautiful on the film.
That's why
Well, no, we're gonna. It's not real cake, and it's made of plastic, and you can take it home with you.
Okay. I'll hang it on my wall.
Very nice.
Ain't this something? Isn't this
We got better commentary too.
You got a few scratches on one.
I know, it's, we were playing.
Now, do they also have the eyeglass laboratory? What will they have? What will be kept over at the pictures?
Well, the residential facilities, but the print shop will eventually move here. The optical lab, as you can see, is.
This building is an outgrowth of Disc Village Treatment Center, a comprehensive drug and alcohol rehabilitation program, which up until today was housed almost exclusively on a 50-acre site in Woodville. This new facility will consolidate and centralize many of our services, including a new adult extended care unit, which I'll talk about briefly later, our outpatient and family services, a central intake unit, community education, an adult and adolescent intervention and diversion program known as TASK, and one of our vocational training programs, the Village Optical. This building also incorporates the first and most basic tenet of Dr. Bassin's philosophy of putting human service systems where they are most needed and most accessible. In our case, near the county jail, the health department, and the Leon County Detention Facility. It is, hopefully, only the first in a series of buildings that will incorporate this model. It's a great pleasure that I introduce Dr. Bernard Slidner.
It is a pleasure to be here today and to honor Dr. Alexander Bassin. It's appropriate to recognize the accomplishments of a man whose life stands for caring about humanity and whose accomplishments in substance abuse and criminal justice represent pioneering efforts. Alexander Bassin was born in Brooklyn, the oldest of 4 sons. At the age of 1, his family moved to a farming community in Clarion, Utah, and then to Salt Lake City, and finally to the hamlet of St. Anthony, Idaho, where his father earned his livelihood as a fur trader with the Indians of the Blackfoot tribe. Alex began his schooling here in a 4-room schoolhouse. Thus, Alex is from true pioneering stock, and this bloodline served him well later in life when he began to forge new ground in the areas of drug abuse treatment and criminology. Some of this is slightly repetitious of what you have in your booklet, but I think a man of Alexander's status deserves some redundancy. He earned his undergraduate degree from Brooklyn College and furthered his professional training at the New York School of Social Work, now part of Columbia University, and Fordham School of Social Work. While working on his advanced degrees, he married the former Anne Rubenstein, and she's here with us today. It's his first and only wife.
So far.
That's what he told me. His career and education were interrupted, as it was for so many of us back then, by World War II. Dr. Bassin served his country well in the United States Army Corps of Engineers. He was honored during his service career to be chosen for advanced training at the Sorbonne. Now, Alexander, I was in World War II, and I was in the Army Engineers, and I was in Europe. And the only thing I got was a 72-hour pass to Paris. Maybe that's why I didn't get invited to the Sorbonne.
Yeah, they still remember.
Very envious of you. Upon the cessation of hostilities, Alex joined the staff of the New York Supreme Court. His association with the court further fueled his keen interest in the criminal justice system. He earned his master's and PhD from New York University and wrote a dissertation on the use of group therapy with criminal justice offenders. For 10 years, Dr. Bassin was director of group psychotherapy at the Barrow Clinic. At the time, this clinic was the only psychiatric treatment facility in the country for the exclusive use of offenders. Today, it is known for its creative and innovative efforts in the criminal justice field. This is no surprise because it benefited from Dr. Bassin's leadership for 10 years. Later, Alex taught at the Graduate School at Yeshiva University and served as the Executive Secretary of the Society for Client-Centered Therapy and Psychodrama. While Director of Research and Education at the New York Supreme Court, he became recognized as one of the nation's first leaders in substance abuse treatment. Under the auspices of the National Institute of Mental Health, he led a team that developed the now universally accepted method for detecting drug and alcohol use through urine analysis. It should be pointed out a derivative of this very process is utilized by laboratory staff in the Bassin building. Dr. Bassin's team also explored treatment aspects for the rehabilitation of drug abusers that led to the development of one of the nation's first therapeutic communities, Daytop Village. This program now has facilities throughout the United States, Europe, and Asia. This telegram from Dr. Charles Slack, Victoria, Australia, attests to the range and depth of Alex Bassin's leadership, and I read most of the telegram to you. Alex Bassin is one of the great criminologists of all time. Perhaps more important, he is a marvelous human being. Literally hundreds of offenders, not excluding a few criminologists such as myself, owe our rehabilitation to Alex Bassin. That's the telegram. What a credit to the Tallahassee-Leon County, I'm still reading from the telegram. What a credit to the Tallahassee-Leon County Human Services Center that it chooses to honor a great of his pioneering spirit and that of the entire board. We have the Bassin building, the first building of the Tallahassee-Leon County Human Services Center. When totally completed, the center will offer a myriad of substance abuse, criminal justice, community and other therapeutic services, many of which would not exist if it were not for Alexander Bassin's earlier founding work. No building could be more appropriately named. It stands as a landmark to the lifetime dedication, contributions, and leadership of Alexander Bassin. We are indeed fortunate to have him associated with Florida State University and with the city of Tallahassee. It is with great pride that this building is dedicated in recognition of a true pioneer of drug abuse and criminal justice services in Tallahassee and the United States. Dr. Alex Bassin. Alex, perhaps you have some words of response to all this praise.
Thank you very much. Thank you, President Slager. Of course, I feel deeply honored by this ceremonial, and I'm afraid it's going to take quite some time for the swelling of my head to get down to reasonable proportions. This is a day that will live in my memory forever. But I must share with you some negative consequences of this occasion. A few days ago, there was a knock on my door in the office. I opened, and there standing before me was a colleague of at least 15 years standing. He jumped back when he saw me, and he said out loud, it's you, you're here, you're here. I looked at him, and I think I answered rather testily, of course it's me, I'm here. Who did you expect? And he turned a shade paler, and his eyeballs began to twitch, and he pointed his finger to the ceiling, and he had all the symptoms of an incipient attack of some sort, perhaps epilepsy. And I got worried, and I say, what's the matter? Are you ill? Are you not feeling well? Should I call a doctor? He took a deep breath, and then he told me he had just come back from vacation, and he found an envelope on his desk. He opened it. It had a black border around it, had my name on the top, and he came to the natural conclusion that I had gone to my reward. Now, if this happened only once, I could just pass it off as a sort of ghoulish humor, but it happened several times. And you may notice I've reached a stage in life where I cannot accept lightly any idle speculation about my lifespan. But more seriously, I must tell you that starting an institution is really not all that arduous. As a matter of fact, once the creative juices get flowing, once you've written the outline, passed on the budget, and had conferences with state and federal and private sector people, and you wait for the great day of the announcement, then it comes positive, and you have a celebration. Actually, there's an element of fun in this whole process. What I do want to tell you is that the people who really deserve recognition and honor are those who carry on the day-to-day drudgery of operating what has been referred to as a crazy house, a place that's very, very difficult to manage. For example, when we started Daytop Village in Staten Island more than 25 years ago, we tore up literally 6 managers, one after another, who simply could not put up with the strain and stress of operating a facility. It wasn't until, by a good stroke of fortune, a young man who had received his basic training at Synanon, the famous institution on the West Coast, came into our purview and took over, that the ship started to sail straight. And we were doubly fortunate because soon afterwards, a remarkable clergyman, Monsignor William O'Brien, took firm hold, and under his direct leadership and management, Daytop Village became one of the premier TCs of the world. It is still recognized as probably the outstanding TC of the entire world. If anybody deserves recognition, it is this person, and I hope you will rise with me in a vote of thanks and appreciation to that individual.